I'm still green.
Yeah, you might have to reset it.
Like it shows up, just sorry, folks, if you have to listen to me.
Just 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Low 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 low. Test 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Test. Hello. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2 1 2 test 1 2. Good. Test 1 2 1 2 1 2 test 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2 1 2. Hello. Mic 1, mic 1, mic 1, mic 1, mic 1, mic 1, mic 1. How's it sound? Do I need to get my other headphones? Test 1 2 3. I gotta check the audio from the camera.
I took it off.
The audio from the camera.
Yeah, I took it off. There's no audio.
No, it runs from this runs from here to the camera and to here, the Firewater audio. Oh, you're using it from here. I'm sorry, that's why. Oh, okay. Test 1 2.
You're over, Max.
Yeah, test 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Ready, better. 1 2 5 6 7 8 9 10. We're here live. Sound good? Okay. Test 1 2 1 2. Yeah. Test. Test. Test.
Okay, we're good? Okay. Okay, so Kevin, at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, what time is it? 9 o'clock, you're going to
Good morning, everyone.
go grab one and bring it over, okay?
Good morning. My name is Tony Lara. I'm the Deputy Director, and I'm here on behalf of Dr. Cornelio Gonzalez, our Executive Director. And on his behalf and all of ours, we'd like to welcome you to your Region 1 Education Service Center. We're so proud to have the opportunity to host this event. It's an event that happens every 2 years, and we're always glad to have you here with us. Please feel free to make yourselves comfortable here. If you need any assistance, let us know. There's plenty of room outside of this room that has seating area. We have a courtyard outside. We have seating on the other side of the building as well. So please let us know if we can accommodate you in any way. And again, we're glad to have you with us. UIL has asked that we have a superintendent open the box at 9 a.m. Fortunate this morning to have Dr. Judith Solis, Superintendent of La Villa ISD with us, and Dr. Rene Gutierrez, Superintendent of Edinburgh CISD with us this morning. So we're going to have them do the honors right at 9 o'clock. If we could ask if you would send one representative from each high school to come and receive one of the copies, we're glad to hand them out. There are three ladies up here that will be distributing the materials, and also know that it's online if you want to do it online as well. So we're glad to have you. Please let us know if we can assist you in any way, and thank you for being here with us this morning. Once we hand them all out, if we have extras, you're welcome. It is now 9 o'clock.
And good morning, everybody. We are live here at the realignment of districts across the state of Texas. We're over here in, of course, Edinburgh at Region 1, where they're going to be announcing the realignment. Starts right at 9 o'clock, and we just had a representative from UIL down here talk a little bit to the coaches about what is going on, and they just released the numbers right now, and we're receiving our packet. Everyone receives a packet. Everyone receives information that is on the where your district will be. And so we're going to have one of our representatives bring it over here right now. We'll be able to make this announcement right now live on 956sports.com.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, Carlos, because there's been a little bit of wait right now about your schedules, who you're going to be playing. And right now, one of the big ones is PSJ Memorial, who they're not sure if they're going to be 5A or 6A. They petitioned, but petitioned late to go to 6A.
Okay, as we're waiting right now, we do have some breaking news coming out of Mission, Jake, and you broke this story earlier. You want to tell us a little bit about a new coach in Mission. It was going to be between Lupe Rodriguez
and Coy Detmer. And Coy Detmer this morning at 7:30 was picked as the new head coach of the Mission Eagles. So he'll be the new head coach. And it's kind of a coup. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be Lupe. Lupe had done a really good job at Mission Vets as the offensive coordinator, and instead he's he's not the choice. It's going to be Coy Detmer, who was at Somerset helping his father out as the offensive coordinator.
All right, so the projections were that Weslaco was going to be moving, the Weslaco schools were moving to 32-5A, and that will be the case. As we take a look right here, we'll start off with 32-6A because that's where the biggest change will be, it looks like, and it will be Weslaco and Weslaco East moving to 32-6A. They will be with San Benito, Los Fresnos, Harlingen South, Harlingen, Brownsville, Rivera, and Hanna. And then if you take a look at the 31-6A, it's going to be the Edinburgh schools with the PSJA schools, and Edinburgh Vela will be, that is a change right there. Edinburgh Vela will be now a 6A school. They joined their sister schools, Edinburgh Economides, Edinburgh North, along with the PSJA schools, and PSJ Memorial is moving up to 6A. Or is remaining in 6A, I should say, and it will be PSJA moving up to 6A. PSJA, the Bears, are going to 6A along with Memorial and PSJA North. If you take a look at 36A, it'll be the La Jolla schools, the McAllen schools, and Mission High School. The Mission Eagles, Mission High School. You got La Jolla, Juarez Lincoln, Palmview, McAllen, McAllen Memorial, McAllen Row, and Mission. So once again, the big change is going to be the Weslaco schools. Weslaco moving to Brownsville, with Brownsville, Hanna, Rivera, Harlingen, Harlingen South, Los Fresnos, San Benito, Weslaco, and Weslaco East, and what a district that will be, with Weslaco East, Weslaco, San Benito, Los Fresnos, Harlingen, all those 5 schools going into district play from last year. So this is going to be a huge district to look out for in 32-6A. Let's go ahead as we continue to look at the rest of this, and we'll go ahead and move to 5A. In 5A, and it looks like 35A, Jake, will have some schools with Laredo. We got Laredo schools bunched in with the Mission schools, Valley View, Rio Grande City, Roma, and Sherryland Pioneer. So district games, there will be some district games for some Valley schools going to Laredo. We have Sherryland Pioneer, Roma, Rio Grande City, Valley View, Mission Veterans, Sherryland, along with Laredo Nixon, Laredo Martin, and Laredo Figueroa. Some traveling will be going on there in 31-5A. Once again, Sherryland schools, the 2 Sherryland schools, Pioneer, along with Mission Sherryland, Roma, Rio Grande City, Valley View, Mission Vets, Laredo Nixon, Laredo Martin, and Laredo Figueroa. That is your 31-5A district. Now let's look at 32-5A. 32-5A, let's see any changes here. Brownsville Veterans. Brownsville Veterans is moving down to 32-5A as projected, and it'll be the Brownsville schools, Brownsville Lopez, Brownsville Pace, Brownsville Porter, along with Brownsville Veterans Memorial, along with Donna North, Ed Calchelsa, Mercedes, and PSJA Southwest. So Brownsville Veterans moves down to 32-5A, and that was the projection. Once again, we got Laredo schools moving in to the 31-5A, along with Sherryland schools, Missions, and Valley View, Rio Grande City, and Roma. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Consist of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 schools: Zapata, Gruya, Rio Grande City, Gruya, La Feria, Kingsville, and Hidalgo. Hidalgo, Kingsville, La Feria, Gruya, and Zapata. That is 16-4A. 16-4A. Moving along here, and in Region 4, Division 2, 16-4A, Rio Hondo, Raymondville, Progreso, Port Isabel, Orange Grove, and Corpus Christi, West Oso. Corpus Christi, West Oso, Orange Grove, Port Isabel, Progreso, Raymondville, and Rio Hondo. All right, Santa Rosa will be in Division 1, 3A, with San Diego, Lyford, Falfurrias, and Bishop. All right, Jake, so there we go. Not really a big surprise, but that conference, the 32-6A conference, once again with the Brownsville schools along.
Browns with Harlingen, Los Fresnos, Weslaco, and San Benito. It's gonna,
Hannah and Rivera, yeah.
yeah. So interesting district. I mean, you look at it. What we thought was going to happen in 31-6A happened. It's the cupcake district, as I called it. It's not a very strong district. It lacks a lot of punch. But on the other hand, 32-6A is a monster district.
32-6A, yeah. 32-6A is going to be a tough district because you have all these schools that went to the playoffs last year. And then, of course, you have Harlingen coming back with a strong team. Harlingen South is up and coming. Los Fresnos is going to be good once again. Of course, they're looking for a new head coach. Then you have San Benito, Weslaco, and Weslaco East. So that 32-6A is going to be certainly a very good team, a very good district. And we always have one of those powerhouse districts that comes out in that realignment. The one thing about this district is that Weslaco and they've played in this district before. They've played against those Brownsville schools. They've always gone kind of back and forth as those
Mid-Valley schools in Weslaco and Weslaco East. They moved over to they've been in the 32-5As back in the old days. They've been in the 31-5A and in the 31-5A this past year, 31-6A this past year. So now they're moving on with the Brownsville
schools once again in Hannah and Rivera. There's only 2 6A schools now. In Brownsville, in Hannah and Rivera, in Harlingen, Harlingen South, Los Fresnos, San Benito, Weslaco, and Weslaco East. 36A once again. 36A is the 3 La Jolla schools: La Jolla, Juarez Lincoln, La Jolla Palmview, McAllen Memorial, McAllen Row, and Mission High School. In case you haven't heard or you're tuning in late, Mission High School has a new head coach, and it'll be Coy Detmer. Coy Detmer, it was just announced this morning that Coy Detmer is the new head at Mission High School. Of course, in the 90s, Coy Detmer was the quarterback there, went on to the University of Colorado, and now he is the new head coach at Mission High School. What is taking place right now, the districts have been announced, all the districts been announced, and what they're doing now is what also takes place at this particular time is not only are the new districts announced, but they also set the schedule, the non-district schedule for the next 2 years. So this is where everything takes place, and the coaches are all here. The coaches right now, they're all tying some dates, and they're all trying to get together so that they can figure out just who they're going to be playing in their non-district schedule. So it will be interesting as far as that's concerned. Usually you get the traditional matchups that'll take place with those non-district schools, and so we'll see what happens during that particular time. But we'll bring some coaches in here in a little bit to talk a little bit about what is going on. And but so far, and then the Laredo schools are going to be, some of these Laredo schools, Jake, are matched up with some of our Valley schools in the 32-5A. So Sherryland and will be moving, or not moving, but will be traveling to Laredo for some non-district games, or for some district games, I should say.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting year. I mean, you look at it, McAllen's pretty much staying the same. When we look at the 5As, what was going to happen was PSJ Memorial was trying to figure out where they were going to go. And it looks like they found a home, albeit probably not what we thought. They're going to stay where they were at, right?
Who's that?
PSJ Southwest, excuse me.
PSJ Southwest stays in 32-5A. PSJ Southwest stays in 32-5A. Yeah, that was a question where they were going to go, but they are in 32-5A with the Brownsville schools, Ed Cauchelsa, and Mercedes schools. The big change is going to be Brownsville veterans, and we'll have to check. We'll have to what type of team Brownsville veterans is going to have, because Brownsville veterans always has a good team, always has a strong team, and we'll see how it goes with their Clay Williams. How you doing? Channel 4 is here, and so that's the way it shapes up here.
Yeah, I'm wondering how the coaches feel about this, because a lot of them thought that Southwest had a chance of going. And they aren't in it. I'm wondering where they're going to go, and they actually thought that Edinburgh, that was going to screw the whole thing with Edinburgh and Far up, was that there wasn't going to be enough teams, but they went with a 7-team district. So, and not a very competitive district. I mean, I'm not being mean about that. I don't think anybody would say that it's one of the more competitive districts. But I'll tell you what, that 32-6A district is a monster.
The 32-6A district
as everyone thought, was going to be a very tough district. And you got to remember, this is not just football we're talking about. We're also talking about basketball, baseball, all the everything, volleyball, and then the traveling that's also involved. You have the traveling that's involved to go, and then not only that, other things you have to think about is you also have the Thursday night games. When you play those Brownsville schools, you have the Thursday night games. Coach, can we bring you on right now to talk a little bit about, since we do have one of the bigger stories that was coming into today, Coach, was going to be where was Brownsville Veterans going to be, because you guys were 6A last 5A, and your reaction, first of all, is kind of what you expected to be in 32-5A.
Yeah, absolutely. When we had our snapshot number, we were well under the 2150, so we're where we're supposed to be as well. And just looking forward to it. Some new schools, and it's exciting to see Ed Couch, Mercedes, and all the others. It's going to be good.
Right, exactly. And Coach, what kind of team do you have coming back next year? I know last year y'all went to the playoffs. You had a very good team, had a quarterback that was outstanding. What kind of team do y'all have next year?
A different type of team, and what I mean by that is very few guys with any varsity experience, but a junior class that's going to be seniors that's really big. I mean, we got about 50 of them. So, and they're hungry though. So, and I feel like they're ready. So we'll have pretty good depth, especially on the offensive line. And we have a young quarterback, I think, ready to go, Gustavo Vasquez.
And then also, Coach, you're going to be playing against some traditional teams that they've been to the playoffs. Mercedes, Ed Couch, Chelsea, Donna. There's not going to be any gimmies week in and week out in this district.
No, there's not. But we're used to that since we were, 32 6A. There were no gimmies. So it's exciting. Tough schools, great coaches. So I mean, looking forward to it.
What about your non-district schedule? Do y'all already have that set?
We do. It's all 6A schools. We're going to start with Edinburgh North. We just won the flip, so we'll play in Brownsville. And then we got Brownsville Rivetta. We'll keep that going with Coach Chavez. And then we got Edinburgh Vela, which is going to be a dynamite game. They, in my opinion, one of the top, either one or two in the Valley last year. So that game's going to bring some fireworks.
Also, one of the things y'all do are the scrimmages. And, scrimmages are big here in the Valley because it's an opportunity to see the kids, but also the fans get to go out there as well.
Yeah, we're going to scrimmage Hannah, so we'll keep that going, us playing against them, and that'll be a good one with Coach Medrano. And then we got the PSJ Bears. So all of our 5 non-district contests are all against 6A schools. I think that'll get us ready.
You guys run the spread. We don't know what Donna North is going to run. Of course, they have Coach Rakovich coming in. Mercedes runs the spread. Ed Couch also runs. Everyone's running pretty much the spread here in this district. Porter's going to be more of a running game. But how do you match up defensively against all these spread offenses?
It's hard to tell right now. It's hard to say. It's one of those things that, especially the way the football goes and turnovers being so critical. But bottom line is I feel real confident about our team, really regardless of what district we're going to be in. It just so happens it's 5A, so we're ready.
Coach, you guys ended the season. I mean, it was probably one of the best games that we've seen in especially the first round of the playoffs. How do you guys bring that back? I mean, how do you bring that back for next year? I mean, because you guys ended on
on a really bad play call on a 2-point conversion.
But your momentum was with you, though.
No,
I mean,
it
was a gutsy call. I was going to say something else that was probably not good for us, but but it was a gutsy call.
Well, the thing is, that particular game, we knew even when we didn't have the ball yet, when we were on defense, trying to get that last stop, we were going to go for 2 if we had the chance, being on the road and all that type of stuff. But as far as our team, we feel we've set a tradition at veterans. Our kids expect to win. Our junior varsity had a lot of juniors on it. They did well. I think they finished 7-2 overall. So, I think we're in a situation where we can compete with just about anybody.
So go ahead, Jake.
No, you had some guys that arguably they were bigger than just about any team in the Valley. What do you have next year as far as size-wise? Your O-line, but you had Meyer in the Valley minus DJ Johnson. I mean, what do you have coming back next year as far as size?
As far as size, our offensive line will still be good size. We did lose a couple of big kids, but to be honest, our skilled kids no one stands out as far as size, except maybe our quarterback. The quarterback, he's probably weighing about 200, 205 pounds right now. We're going to try to get him down a little bit, but he is definitely a dual threat. But that's it. I mean, our skilled kids are all pretty crafty, pretty athletic, but no one will stand out like Myers did on the field.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. So you're pretty much done for the morning. So your superintendent is watching. He wants you to go back to Brownsville right now before lunch.
You mean she's watching?
Oh, she's watching.
Hey, thanks, guys.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much, Coach Cantu. Appreciate it.
Good luck
It's fun.
next year.
Good luck next year at all those 32-5A games.
Awesome.
We'll be
Looking
covering
forward
you
to it.
guys. Yes,
Thank
sir. All right. All right, that was David Cantu, the head coach at Brownsville Veterans, and kind of an easy job for him because
He's set.
He's got everything set. He's got his games. I know Weslaco is still looking for some games. They have a scrimmage open. It's up there on the board. Palmview is looking for a game right here in week 4. And then who else? Scrimmage open for Weslaco East. Port Isabel game open in week 2 as well. Let's see what also happens with Weslaco in the non-district schedule, Jake, in terms of opening, to playing Donna. Playing Donna, what are they going to do in the non-district game? There was a time there where they weren't playing against Donna for a couple of games, a couple of seasons, maybe even more than that. But I'm pretty sure that that'll be something that they'll be scheduling right now.
Yeah, we've got actually Coach Kaufman from PSA North, first year head coach, new head coach. He'll be taking over that program. We're going to have him on. Hopefully Coy will be here today. We'd love to get Coy.
Kevin, can you go get Coach Gomez, see if you come over here and talk to us real quick?
Manny Gomez.
Manny Gomez. He's right there. You can go get him. Kevin is kind of working for us today, producing the show and bringing in some people that we can talk to. It looks like Coach Gomez is done because he's just shaking hands.
Yeah,
So,
it's a lot different than the last time. Last time we were here, he was running around trying to find games because the district changed around. There's Mel Rios from PSJA ISD now. He's the assistant athletic director. It'd be interesting to get an athletic director's take on this whole thing because it's been there's not a lot of change here, and I don't know if that makes people mad or not.
Right.
So we'll have to wait for Manny Gomez right now. There's a ton of coaches there. They're all laughing, talking. Some are very serious. We go around the room
And this is one of the only times where you get to put in all the coaches from the Valley in one room. They get together and they have their district meetings, their executive committee meetings, but this is one of the time where every district in the Valley is represented here. You have your head coaches here, you have your ADs here. Coach Gomez is want to talk to us. Come on, Coach.
now, right now, Port Isabel looks like they have a week 2 open. They're trying to fill. Los Fresnos is trying to fill.
Can't talk to you. I gotta go talk to Amador.
Oh, wow. So,
You're trying to grab my attention. Hey, hold up, man.
Coach
All right.
Gomez of the Harlingen Cardinals
How you doing,
stepping in
Coach?
with us.
Good to see you in person, Coach. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You put that on, that'd be great for us. And here we go.
Breaker on that.
Coach Manny Gomez, 32-6A with us right now. Coach, your reaction, this is kind of what everyone was expecting. This is going to be the toughest district in the Rio Grande Valley. 32-6A, your reaction.
Well, first of all, I think we all have the same hairdresser, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. It's something. I was making sure that it wasn't a 7 or 16 district because now you're scrambling for games. But hey, we were blessed to get what we were kind of shooting for, so it all worked out great.
It's kind of you're familiar with you're familiar with Weslaco High School. You've played them in the playoffs, and then also you played them back in the the old 32-5A days as well. So you're familiar with Weslaco, at least Weslaco High School.
Yeah, definitely, and it makes things easier when you've played teams and understand what they're trying to do, and you got film on them and stuff. And the only guys we don't have no film on is on Weslaco East, but Mike Brigitte a good friend of mine, and it's always enjoyable to play against somebody that you have good rapport with, But no, it's going to be a great challenge, man. It's going to be a great district, and I think it's going to definitely prepare us for the playoffs.
It's going to be a tough district, Coach. Once again, in case you're just tuning in, 32-6A, Hanna, Rivera, Harlingen South, Los Fresnos, San Benito, Weslaco, and Weslaco East. So it's going to be a tough district. Like I said, you're very familiar with Weslaco. Weslaco East, you're going to get to know them. You've seen them before. You know what they do. You know what Coach Brigitte likes to do as far as they like the running game.
Yeah, I call him Japanese plays. He has some Japanese plays. He has these crazy formations. What's up, Fred Loya? And he's like I said, they're great. They're great colleagues of mine, and we're going to definitely have some fun. We're definitely going to have packed houses at these games, and that's what it's all about for the communities and stuff. And definitely going to be a great opportunity for us Harlingen Cardinals.
Tell me what you have already scheduled for your non-district schedule, Coach.
We have Mission Vets, very first game of the year. We'll be at Harlingen. and then we'll be playing Laredo United South week 2 at Harlingen, and then we'll be traveling possibly to Corpus or to Kingsville to go play San Antonio Reagan again. We developed a good relationship with Coach Wetzel, and you know what, they got tremendous speed, they got tremendous tradition, so you know we definitely want to go in there with the big boys and strap it on early on.
Well, you know, that's going to be a pretty tough non-district schedule. Not too familiar with Laredo United South, but I know Mission Vets has a good team coming back from last year. They're a playoff team from a year ago. And, of course, San Antonio Reagan, they're going to be tough as well. So it prepares you once again, like you always do. You like to prepare with a tough non-district schedule.
Yeah, you want to get them lumps early on, you know, and kind of gear you up for the rest of the year. It's like, you know, Nick Saban says it. I'm a big Nick Saban supporter, but you rather lose early than lose late. Okay. But yeah, you know, I picked up from coaches way back when. There was Coach Dowling who used to be at McAllen, and you know, certain things, a vision that they had, and I said, hey, let's go in that direction, and it's worked out for us. But you know, you got to be careful what you ask for sometimes, because you know, Laredo United South, they had an opportunity to beat McAllen Memorial. I don't know if you guys saw that game. That was Laredo United South. They had an opportunity to win that football game. So hey, they battle, they grind, they play hard, and that's one thing that we want to face early on. And I'm sure it's going to be definitely a fun game in Harlingen in week 2.
We still remember that Abilene game.
Oh my goodness!
That we streamed that one live, and man, I think we broke our servers. We had so many people watching that game.
Yeah, that I can honestly say that you know, talk about an answered prayer, man. I was like, come on, Lord, just one time. That gives an opportunity, and that kid fumbled the ball. You know, it was a wildcat formation. I'll never forget. And the kid fumbled the ball, picked it up, and he I think by half a yard, you know, we stopped the kid from scoring and getting 2 points, man. But you know, it's football, man, and that was a great a game that I will never forget.
Coach, how do you feel that you were kind of the trendsetter in that? Because, you know, you went out of the valley. You had the moxie to say, you know what, let's go play up. Let's find somebody that will actually play us, and we'll shock the world. And then, you know, slowly, you know, you've got Permian games. You know, Mackay and Mission Vets are playing them. You know, you've kind of been that trendsetter. You know, how does that feel?
No, well, it's you know, we're trying to be genuine, man, at Harlingen. You know, we want to take it to another level. The whole thing about what we do, what I do, is trying to bring respect to Valley football, man. And the only way is by winning at the big stage. So don't wait till week 12, 13. Let's do it now, early on, and grab some momentum. More important, grab some confidence. And that's the whole thing about what we're trying to do. I know that the whole thing about what we're trying to do as a profession is build good relationships. You know, I had a little clinic in back of my house. I had 14 head coaches there. I had about 70 coaches there, and basically that's what I told that huge group of guys is, hey man, the only way we can beat San Antonio is that we got to learn to get along for one. That way we can help each other out, form a network among those Valley coaches. So if you happen to get to the 3rd or 4th round, you might know somebody or know something of that certain team, and now you can help that team from the Valley to maybe get an opportunity to move on. But it's just a network thing, and that's all I was trying to do. Again, just opportunity presented itself. Hey, man, thanks to Carl Padilla, we jumped on it. We almost had an opportunity this year to play Cedar Hill at Cotton Bowl week 2, but it didn't fall through. But it's an opportunity, you know, that, again, through I believe that hard work will never go unnoticed. People are listening to what we're doing, and hey, we just want to go out there and compete against the best, because in order to, what did Ric Flair say, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. So,
that's right.
I mean, I believe in that, so it's important that you grind early. That way you can prepare you for the later rounds.
All right, Coach.
Hey, one last thing. You know, you're asking your staff right now for your little notepad. How can you be such a big guy and have such a little notepad? Come on.
Hey,
Coach.
Little things add up to big things, man. You know, I believe that. But the bottom line is, I keep things simple. I don't need a big notepad.
An
there.
iPad. You need an iPad, Coach.
Little man, I get the phone and all this other stuff, but you know, I just want to look the part, man. At least come in here with something in your hand, like you got something to write with. But you know, I guess it is what it is, man.
Your schedule, your non-district schedule is pretty much set before you came in here.
Yes, sir. The only thing right now that might change is the venue we will play in against Reagan, whether it's in Kingsville whether it's in Cal Allen, whether it's in Buck Stadium, cabinets. That's the only thing that will be set apart. And then the last thing is we got to go into the war room right now and just figure out, because at Harlingen we're trying to have a Friday night game every Friday. We personally feel at Harlingen that nobody should play on a Thursday or a Saturday. Okay, if there's only one, because only 2 schools. So that, and sometimes, you know, you get a lot of thrown in one room, and this, y'all know where I'm. And some of the people that they're in our district now, you know. Yeah. So it's hey, we'll adjust, we'll adapt and overcome, man.
Well, it'll be interesting. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good season. Your district's going to be fun again.
Every game is big at Harlingen. You know, it's just something that I harp on the kids. You can ask any of my players, hey, who we playing this week, and they'll tell you ourselves. And every game is big, man, because of all the amount of time and hours that we put into it as a coaching staff and as a organization. It's big, man. You know, I don't believe in wasting time, and the bottom line is that we're going to have fun in what we do, man. No, more importantly. So, but I appreciate you guys having me.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm sure we'll see you. We'll be seeing you around, Coach.
All right, guys.
Yep.
Appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Coach. We'll see you. Coach Manny Gomez, once again, who is here in the new 32-6A with Hanna, Rivera, Harlingen, South Los Fresno, San Benito, West Loco, and West Loco East. Pretty much what everyone expected.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, it's going to be interesting. We're trying to get Abel from Agree to come over.
I think with a lot of these coaches, they're kind of emptying out right now, Coach. Jake.
They're going out in the hallway trying to find games and stuff.
They're finding games. They're also, like Coach Gomez just said, they're going to go into the war room and probably do some flipping of the coin as far as who's going to play at home first, because then they'll go home and home after that.
And it's a brand new district, so you know, so everything kind of resets. I'm interested right now. I'm seeing Rocky James and his coaches talk with, I believe it's Raymondville, to find out, you know, what their situation is. It's going to be quite interesting. The good thing is, at least we have one strong district. They didn't dilute it in any way, shape, or form. We have 32-6A. That's going to be pretty powerful. And, you know, if you look at it, the McAllen district is getting stronger. The McAllen-La Jolla Mission district. La Jolla didn't make the playoffs this year, but La Juarez, Lincoln, and Palmview did. So, you know, it's one of those things. The year before, La Jolla had made it. I want to see that happen in the other districts, and that's. I mean, I'm calling it the Cupcake District, but, you know, I think anybody besides Vela has a chance. Vela's probably going to get first seed in district play. They'll win district, and then everybody else is going to be fighting for 2 through 4. So that'll be interesting. But we'll have to. Yes, sir. Coy Detmer getting the job.
Is he here?
He is not here.
I don't see him. All right, so I'd like to just once again welcome everybody here. We are live at the District Realignment here at Region 1 in Edinburgh, and right now it is about 9:30 in the morning, so we've been on the air for about 30 announcements have come out, and the new alignments are looking pretty good. If you like this stuff, there will be some changes, especially for the Mid-Valley schools as far as West Loco is concerned and West Loco East.
Coach Kevin Brewer stepping in from the Mackay Bulldogs.
Didn't recognize you without your purple on, Coach. Well, there you go. I see some right there. So, Coach, talk to me a little bit about the new district that you're in. Jake says it's going to be an easy one.
Our new district is the same as it's been, and that's what we anticipated, so there wasn't a whole lot of drama involved there like some of these guys. But, no, it's good. It's competitive. Some good rivalries out there geographically with Mission and the La Jolla, so it's a good deal. We're glad we're still together.
The breaking news, Coach, coming out of Mission is that Mission High School will have Coy Detmer as their new head coach. Have you heard that yet?
I just heard that. I didn't know, and I heard that, and that's a great deal. You know, I know he's pretty popular in that town, so that'll be good. He'll start off with some good support behind him.
All
Coach,
right.
what do you have coming back? I'm sorry, you had McGowan last year, but you had a young team that you were trying to kind of find your way last year. What do you guys have coming back? Because Mac High's usually had some big guys. You had a very young team this year.
Yeah, we were young and small and slow and weak. We offensively, we've got to replace a lot. Quarterback, tailback, fullback, 3 offensive linemen, all our receivers. So that's going to be the biggest focus in the spring. Defensively, front 7, we got quite a few coming back front 7-wise. Our D-line, almost our whole D-line is intact. A couple of linebackers coming back. Secondary took a pretty big hit, so we got to find some guys there. But offensively, we got to find that guy to pull the trigger at the quarterback position. We got to find a new guy to carry the mail in the back, in the tailback position. So it's this spring is going to be critical, very, very, very important, because we've got some holes, that we got to fill, and so that's what we'll be doing in the spring.
Is this a team? I mean, your district, it's been really, it's been pretty static as far as 2 La Jolla teams made it this year, 2 La Jolla teams made it the year before. Do you see it changing much as far as I guess everybody, because Memorial is going to be having a brand new team.
Yeah, the dynamic, and then you got new head coaches at Rowe and Mission and La Jolla High. Man, I really don't know what to think, to be honest with you, Jake. With Trevor Spates graduating, hopefully that brings Memorial down a little bit to earth, where we can actually, compete with them. Everybody else is always good. We'll have to wait and see what these new head coaches are going to do scheme-wise and what that brings to the table. I just plan on it being a dogfight. 7 teams fighting it out for 4 spots, and it's the way it's been every year. And I'm sure nothing will change.
How did you guys look at the lower classifications, Coach? What kind of players do you have coming up to fill all those positions?
We were all right. We weren't world beaters. I really like our freshman group coming up. There's some good skill kids in there, and our freshman group last year had some bigger kids and not really any skill kids, and then this group this year had some good skill. Some receiver, some running back, some quarterback type kids, and so hopefully now we can kind of mix them together on the JV and get something going. And we had a small freshman class this year. One of our feeders had a down year numbers wise, so hopefully we'll get that back up, get our freshman numbers back up to where we want them, and get it going. But we're going to have to fill some holes from that JV from last year.
Is this going to be a wide open district, you think? I mean, anyone can.
I think so.
That's what you're making it sound like.
I think so. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't think, like I said with Trevor, Coach Littleton graduated like 4 or 5 D1 kids or whatever. Now they're kind of in the mix, and it's just a big pot of gumbo, and we'll have to see who gets the shrimp, who gets the sausage, and who gets the okra and all that. So,
what about your non-district schedule, Coach? What you guys get scheduled?
We're going to open up with Harlingen South. In week 2, we're going to go PSJ Memorial. Week 3, we're going to go Los Fresnos. Week 4, we're going to go PSJ High. Just like I did 2 years ago, I want to schedule competitive.
Sure.
Nobody, I had a couple out of the Valley schools 2 years ago, and that nobody wanted to play us again. Not that we're that good. I just think the travel, turns a lot of people off. It turns the San Antonios off, turns the Corpuses off, and you just can't get anybody that'll make the trip down here. So that's tough, So you got to look in the Valley. You can't go 29 because that's your bi-district opponent. And so I really tried to go heavily Lower Valley, District 32, and I wanted to play the good ones in there. And Los Fresnos, we're scrimmaging San Benito, so we got Harlingen South, Los Fresnos, San Benito out of 32, and then 2 of the PSJs out of 31. So, try to prepare our kids for a tough district and then hopefully a playoff run,
How was the Alamo Bowl, Coach?
It was insane. At halftime, and I hate to say this, but I was with my 2 sons. I said, if we weren't 4 hours from home, we'd leave right now.
And it's cold and rainy.
It was cold and rainy. And everyone, I said, but I said, we'll stick it out. We'll stay, and gosh almighty, it was crazy.
It was.
And, every time we'd score, I'd tell my sons, you never know.
Yep.
You never know. You never know. It's like that Plano East John Tyler playoff game from ~94. I was watching the deal.
I just watched on ESPN. Yeah.
I'm sick to my stomach.
And I remember those guys. Scott Phillips was a head coach there in the Metroplex for a long time, and great guy. And I remember Alan Wilson. He coached in Dallas. He coached at Carter for a little while, and I remember those guys. And but anyway, that was
great. You stayed for the whole game.
We stayed for the whole game,
go.
and we stayed for the pandemonium and all the the craziness that went on after. So it was a heck of a deal, heck of a game.
Backup quarterback comes in and leads them.
Backup senior, yeah. And, he played against Oklahoma, and they dang near beat Oklahoma with him. But just a gutsy performance.
Right.
In the first half, it didn't look like he was in the right building. It looked long that Chuck E. Cheese's, throwing foosball or something. But in the second half, man, I tell you what, kid did a great job of fighting and competing and hanging in there, and heck of a finish.
All right, Coach. TCU grad, played for the Horned Frogs. That's why we brought up the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah.
I heard they're making a movie about it now. Disney's going to make a movie about well, he was a third-string quarterback.
Yeah.
Comes in and leads to one of the greatest comebacks in bowl history.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'll have to go see that.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much.
Hey, you
appreciate
bet.
it. Yep.
Anytime, guys.
Kevin Brewer, Mac
Thanks,
High,
Coach.
head football coach, and he's all set for his realignment in his district. And playing in you go right through there, Coach. Pretty much wide open in that district is what he's saying, Jake. And if you think about it, he's right.
He is right.
Because the teams that went to the playoffs last year lost a lot of players.
Yeah, and you think about that district. Was top heavy with Trevor and Mac High with Jonathan Sanchez was on that team. He's going to Rice. Trevor is going to.
You got something on your forehead.
Sorry.
There you go. Little lint.
My bangs. But what it's going to be interesting because that Memorial is not going to be the same Memorial team that they have been, and
right.
so they're going to be in rebuild mode. And they lost Coach Kaufman to PSA North, so then you're going to have that issue there. Who's going to take up the offensive load for as far as coaching? And it's going to be interesting because certain guys probably went over to PSA North with them, so you're going to have that conundrum there.
Sure. Yeah, and it's going to be a little bit of rebuilding for him. Coach Brewer's talked about all the players. He lost a lot of people on offense. Kevin, how are we doing with our coaches, the ones that we're looking for?
Gilpin. What's up?
What you're bringing in some coaches that says, come on in, talk to us a little bit here, Kevin. A little bit. He is producing today's show, so he's bringing in some of the coaches. What's the status on our coaches?
Well, we have David Gilpin coming up next from Mission Veterans.
Okay.
He's actually talking with one of our riders. And then we're going to have Ramiro Leal later on and then Roger Adame. So kind of trying to find everybody where they're at. There's meeting rooms, so coaches are walking around getting that done. So
you're an Edinburgh North guy. So talk to me a little bit about have you seen the new district yet? Have you had a chance to absorb that and look at the new district? It's right here. It's going to be the Edinburgh schools with the PSJA schools.
I have seen it, and I graduated in 2010, so it's actually kind of familiar seeing the FAR schools back in the district, because when I was there, we would play against the FAR schools, and of course there was only 3 Edinburgh schools, and then of course we had Harlingen and Harlingen South in our district. So, but I think the gist of it is that it's good to have all 4 Edinburgh schools back together in the same district.
Absolutely awesome. Well, we have here with us now Coach Max Hawbecker from Roma Gladiators, and coach the new district for 31-5A, Laredo Cigaroa, Martin, Laredo Nixon, Mission. Not Mission, but Sherryland, Mission Veterans, Valley View, Rio Grande City, Roma, and then Sherryland Pioneer. That's going to be a pretty tough district, Coach.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Well, how do you feel? I mean, you're over there close to, I guess you would say, a couple of hours, maybe an hour and a half away from Laredo. How do you feel about traveling over there?
Well, we're right smack in the middle, both ways. So I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We don't have to travel too far one way or the other. But we're used to traveling. That's no big deal. We're always I guess it's further for people to come to. It's harder for people to come to us than it is for everybody from Roma. Just used to traveling one way or the other, so it's no big deal for us.
Yeah, and even though we say that you guys are part of the valley,
Yeah.
when you come this way, you say we're going to the valley,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's funny, man. We do say, hey, we're headed to the valley.
How is Roma looking this year? Are you guys reloading? Do you have another powerful running back that you're going to be able to put in place for this coming year?
Right now, we got nine coming back on offense and 7 on defense. Okay, we have to replace some very good players, but that's just that's a yearly thing that everybody
Sure.
goes through. We don't get to keep our players for that long, so it's just a transition period in the off season. Creating new leadership within our program, and then creating our own identity, because every year our identity has to be very different as far as the leadership is concerned. So I want these guys to take ownership and to run this team inside out.
Right. You made some great strides over the past couple of years. Winning the first playoff game ever against Mercedes and a comeback victory for you guys. Is there a new tradition? I mean, you've always had good teams.
Yeah.
You're always knocking on the door, but over the past 2 years, you guys have just played incredible football.
Well, it's about belief. I think that's the biggest difference. Our kids believe that they can go and win every game that we play. Does it happen? No, it doesn't happen. But we go in there believing that we can do it. And I think that might be the biggest difference between, those 6-4 teams that we're making in. Last year we were 8-2, and then 8-3 if you count the playoffs. But I mean, that's a big difference right there compared to back in the day.
Sure,
when
absolutely.
things weren't really going our way. But it's all about the kids, and then the coaches, working their tails off with them year round. And all that dedication has come full circle for us.
Absolutely, Coach. And just how tough is this district? With Sherryland Mission veterans, you guys, Pioneers, going to be tough as well. Are you familiar at all with any of these Laredo schools? Cigarro is always tough. Martin and Nixon?
We scrimmaged Laredo Nixon last year.
Okay.
Very tough, very well coached. They made a run in the playoffs. We used to play Laredo Martin out of the playoffs in the last 4 or 5 years. Cigarroa is tough. They're the way we used to be. Just they keep knocking on that door. They're getting better every year. So nothing is going to be a cakewalk at all. And our district was tough last year, and it only got tougher.
Absolutely. What about your non-district schedule, Coach? How does it look like?
We've got La Jolla Palmview, which is a playoff team.
Yep.
And then we had La Jolla High, which was this doing it, But both good quality 6A teams. I wanted to make sure that we play 6A teams. I think it's a bigger challenge for us. They got more numbers. They have more kids to choose from. So at the end of the day, our backs are against the wall a little bit, and we're really trying to play better teams.
Coach, go ahead, Kevin. You have a question?
I was just going to ask, Coach, this past season we talked on the huddle how the formula of this team was playing defense and running the football. So is that going to be the same strategy next year, having to replace so many guys? Or what's the outlook for Roma next season? What's going to be that nucleus?
That's our philosophy. That's what we believe in as a program. That's how we train. We're going to play great defense, and we're going to run the football. And that's what we do all year round. Our coaches believe in it. Our kids believe in it. And that's just what we do. And that's our philosophy, like I said. So I don't foresee any change. I would like to create more balance in our offense, but we know that we can run it. So when it all fails, we know that we can be successful.
Coach, I know, how are those baseball and softball fields working out for you guys, the turf? You guys have turf on your baseball and softball fields, PSJ, and now Ed Couch is going to do it. How does that work out for you guys? Because when it rains, how quickly can you guys go on the turf and start playing?
First of all, we never have to cancel games except for lightning, right? We get to practice on good quality fields every single day. And last year, we were able to help out our district and other districts that were close by when all that rain came down. So we were hosting 2-3 games a night, and everybody's baseball season was able to keep going. Now with having Ed Couch and FAR in the mix, we're going to be able to divide that maybe into 3, and that's okay, because the most important thing is the kids, whether they're our kids at Roma or anybody else kids anywhere else. If we can help, we're going to help.
Yeah, because I would always talk to coach, hey, where are you guys going to play? Well, we might have to go to Roma. And, this is the West Laco schools.
And that's okay, man. We're good with that.
Yeah, they're like, we have to travel all the way to Roma to go play. And, so, yeah, there'll be another one here. And then I've heard also rumblings from other school districts that's the trend is also for them to also start to put turf on their baseball and softball fields as well.
The amount of money you save in the long run is ridiculous.
Awesome.
We used to think that it was a very heavy investment, but now that we've done it in football, we understood that at the end of the day, it's the best thing we could do. We put turf on one of our middle schools.
Awesome.
You know? So
For
because we
baseball
see-
or softball or
No, for
for football as well? Okay.
So it's football, soccer.
Sure.
So now we're able to host multiple games, sub-varsity games,
There we go.
middle school games, and not worry about, well, the field this and the field that. Our band is on the field all the time. It's
There you
all
go.
good, man. Everybody gets to use it, and everybody shares, and we don't have to worry about the quality of the field we're going to have.
Absolutely. Any more questions there, Kevin?
I'm good.
All right.
Have you checked out Roberson yet? Your little pitcher over there at Roma?
No, not yet.
Yeah, we spoke with him yesterday, and we're expecting a lot of good things from the baseball team this year. He's a
Let me
stud.
tell you something about our baseball team. They've been working their tails off since the beginning of school, in the weight room, working on their agility, working on their speed. Those guys, without a doubt, man, they have so much heart, and they get after it every single day. And like you said, Robertson, he does a great job of being a leader of that squad. And he's not a vocal guy. He's a leader by example.
Awesome, Coach. We look forward to that. Look forward to watching you guys play football, baseball. I know you guys do well. Tennis, swimming as well. So things are going well in Roma. All right,
you
Coach.
very much,
Thank you
man.
very much, Coach Hawbecker. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
Being
Thank
here.
you for having me, guys.
Yep, on 956sports.com at the district realignment, and we'll have David Gilpin come in here in a couple of minutes. And looking good there for Roma, and pretty interesting things. We have Coach Gilpin coming in here now. Come on in, Coach. Yes, sir. How you doing, Coach? Doing good. Good to see you.
Mean green, baby.
Yes, sir. Mean green, baby. Yes, sir. Just go ahead and put those on. And so here we go.
Dang, man, you sound good in here.
Well, we just had Coach Hawbecker in here, and he says that he's going to kick your all's butt.
Yeah, they're the team to beat. If you ask me right now who's the top team in the district, I'm going to say Roma.
You're going to say Roma.
I think they're that good. They were a good ball club the last 2 years, and they got an awful lot coming back next year. So they're going to be tough. They're going to be a force to be dealt with, no doubt.
Traveling to Laredo, was this something you guys expected, or was this a surprise for you guys?
No, not expected at all, Carlos. But don't really care, man.
Yeah.
We'll travel. We'll get on the bus and we'll plan and we'll organize our trip, and we'll be, we do everything down to the minute, from a rest stop to a loading and unloading, and it's just. To me, travel is what you make of it,
Sure.
and we do a good job with it
Sure.
at our school. We're travel doesn't bother me. Driving to Laredo doesn't bother us, and it's those Tuesday nights, those other teams that are going to have to be traveling. The finances, the school nights that's discouraging for us as an athletic coordinator and as a program. But as far as football is concerned, hey, let's get on the bus and let's get it on.
Absolutely, Coach. You see this as a pretty tough district, of course, with Sharyland's going to be good once again. Pioneers up and coming. Roma, we talked about them. And then, of course, you guys,
Yeah, it's a tough district.
Yeah.
It was tough last year. It's going to be tough this year.
Yeah.
Both those Sharyland schools are going to be really, really good, in my opinion. Like I said, I think Roma's probably the district favorite right now. Valley View, they're up and coming. Then you got the Star County bunch out there with Rio Roma. Now we're, I don't know much about the Laredo schools. It'll be one of the things we're on the next couple of days is trying to get some film and see what we got. Going to be going against over there. But it's gonna. I like the 9 teams though, Carlos.
Sure,
Don't get me
absolutely.
wrong. 19. And I made this comment to your guy John over there a while ago. You make the playoffs in a 9-team district, you've earned it. You win a district championship in a 9-team district, you've earned it. And I like that. I'm not happy about losing 2 really good non-district games, and that's what happened to us today.
Sure.
That's the biggest setback to me. The only negative that I've come out of with football-wise today is we lost 2 quality non-district opponents.
Right.
That's it, man. Everything else, hey, let's rock and roll.
So for non-district, what are y'all going to do?
We're going to open with Harlingen. We'll go down to Harlingen, and then we'll play our rivalry game against Mission there at Tom Landry. That's it. That's all we got.
Well, since we're talking about Mission, your reaction, Coy Dettenborough, I don't know if you heard yet, but he's the new head coach over there.
Yeah, certainly. I'm gonna decline comment on that one. Nothing against Coy or Mission, or that's just a situation that I'm not going to touch, and I'm going to stay out of. Had nothing to do with me, and best of luck to him.
A lot of people down here in the Valley are pulling for Lupe. He's been around here and stuff. So, but that's just the way the ball bounces, and Lupe will get his opportunity someplace else.
I certainly hope so. I feel he's very deserving. He's done a great job for us, and it's like I've told him selfishly. I'm glad he's back with us. But I'm not a selfish person.
Sure, absolutely.
And, I want to see him get his opportunity, and I believe he will soon.
All right, Coach. Let's talk a little bit about your team now.
Okay.
Of course, Landry, your son.
Yep.
Landry Gilpin at quarterback.
Right.
Were you guys working in the off season right now, or what are you all doing?
Right now we'll hit our football phase in March. So right now we're in the weight room. We're in our strength phase, and we're outside doing our station work. But we'll start football in March. No, those guys are out throwing. They're out there throwing 3 days a week. They come in on their own in the mornings at 7:15 and throw for about 30, 45 minutes, before they get into the athletic period. So we're real happy with our skilled kids and their commitment to what we're doing right now. But, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a plus having Landry back the next 3 years. We're excited about that.
What about the rest of the team? You had I know some good receivers.
Yeah.
You had quality receivers. You
Right.
had 2 or 3 of those guys.
And we lost Bobby Tovar. That's 100 catches and 1,500 yards. That's a lot to replace. But we feel like we have some guys that can step and do that, and all the other guys are back. Skill position is the strength of our team right now. We got Diego Hernandez back at quarterback. We got our receivers back. We feel real good about our backfield right now. We got to see who's going to come out on top, but we feel good about them. Now, having said that, defensively we have one starter returning. We are going to be replacing everybody, and our offensive line the same thing. So we've got some holes to fill. Offseason's gone great.
Sure.
We've had a tremendous offseason up to this point, Carlos, and we're expecting great things out of the next bunch of kids that are fixing to step up and step in.
All right.
So having all that said, Coach, what do you see what's going to be the biggest challenge this offseason? Is it going to be the defense? Because having only one.
Without a doubt, man. Defensively, we got an inside linebacker. A kid broke it, Juan Baradas. And that's it. Everybody else is going to be brand new, and we're losing some quality kids there. So it is a challenge, but it's one that we're embracing right now. We're looking forward to, and any time that you're going to be tested, any time that you're going to start off with a new bunch of kids, it's always exciting. Just like it's a new district right now. It's exciting, man. We're going to see some new people, see these Laredo schools. So, it's, we feel good about where we're at. We really do. We're going to be unproven.
Yeah.
We certainly don't deserve to be picked to do anything at this point, but we feel when it all said and done at the end, we're going to be in the mix.
And how much of motivation is like for your son Landry? Only a freshman starting this year. Now he's going to be a sophomore. So how big is that experience factor of already, in the playoffs, winning a playoff game, so, going forward?
It's a great question, and it's huge. It's like he tells me, he everything he does now, he feels like he belongs. He's been there with the speed of the game. He was able to step in and be successful, at the quarterback position, whereas up till then, he was a backup wide receiver, just trying to get his feet wet and, hey, do I belong here? I'm only here because of my dad, or am I talented enough to do it? And now he knows. He understands he's talented. Right now he's out there in track season and getting ready, and he's one of our top track kids. Again, as a freshman, where maybe he wouldn't have had that mentality if he hadn't had the success that he had during football season. So the time that he spent on the field this year is only going to benefit him going in. There's no question marks about him going into it next year.
Yeah, because let's be honest, not a lot of freshmen can say
Absolutely.
they went out there in a varsity game, started, and won a playoff game. So that's a pretty unique situation you guys got down there. So the future is indeed bright for you guys.
All right, Coach. And baseball's coming up. I know your all's baseball team did very well last year.
Yeah.
How are they looking this year?
High hopes. Coach Smith's going to always downplay everything. We're not going to be very good. We lost a lot of kids, and we did. We lost some, but we got some good ones back, too.
Sure, absolutely.
So we're excited about baseball, and those guys are out there knocking it around right now, and, baseball's ready to go.
Absolutely.
And Noel Vela, you guys, he's a junior. He's their ace. Y'all are actually looking for the four-peat in district.
Yes,
so.
we've got 3 straight. We went to the Sweet 16 last year. Really, really excited about what our baseball team has done. Starting to fill up a trophy case in there with gold gloves. And that's obviously the goal of all of our teams is to win championships. And baseball's done a great job. And having Noel back kind of keeps everything a little bit. We're not going to worry too much about what we lost because we got guys like that back.
Okay, Coach Gilpin, you're from the second hardest district in the Valley because 32 6A is the hardest one.
32 6A.
So you guys are right after them.
Is low. We felt that way last year about our district, and not much change. Edinburgh Vela moved on up to 6A, but everything else, like I said, though, man, you make the playoffs in a 9-team district, you've done your job, and as a staff and as a program. So we're looking forward to that challenge, Carlos.
Sounds good. Go Mean Green.
Heck yeah, baby. Heck
All
yeah.
right. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Coach David Gilpin, my former supervisor at the University of North Texas.
There you go.
I was a referee over there, Kevin. That's one of my jobs in college, refereeing intramurals flag football at the University of North Texas, and Coach Gilpin. So things are moving along here pretty well.
Yeah, I really like the point he made about a 9-team district because you say when you make the playoffs or you win you make the playoffs is one thing and you deserve it, and then sure as heck you deserve it even more if you win a district with 9 teams in a district. So that's something. I think the only Valley school with a 9-team district was also the 5A. That has 9 teams in the district, but that's going to be a gauntlet because it's 6 teams already enough, and then you add 9 teams to a district, and if you make the playoffs, only 4 make it out of 9, so it's going to be really tough. And then I think another challenge for them is he said, they hadn't seen a lot of the Figueroa, Martin, or Nixon, the 3 new schools in the 31 5A. So, like he said, they're going to get right onto the tape. And I think Roma said they have a little bit of familiarity with Laredo, so we'll see what happens. But that 31 5A is going to be a lot of fun. And I think the team, to beat is probably going to be Roma. And then Sherryland Pioneers kind of this year, they made some strides. And I think they're going to be a lot like Vela, where they started out their program. They started small, and each year you saw the progression of the team. And then, last year we saw Pioneer make those steps forward. They showed a lot of athleticism. They hung around with the big boys for about a half, and then in the second half they kind of faded away. But I think this may be the year where Pioneer kind of gets it all together and could potentially make the playoffs, or maybe, a half a game out or something like that.
What Coach Gilpin talked about also was the traveling. The traveling to the Laredo schools, especially on a Tuesday night. You got volleyball, you got softball, baseball. You got all those sports that play during the week as well, and they're going to have to travel. What's going on, Coach Smith? What are they going? They're going to have to travel to Laredo during the middle of the week, play a game till about 9 o'clock or so. Then you get back 2 hours later. It's going to be 11 o'clock at night, so it's going to be a late night for those kids in that 130. What was it? 131 5A.
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, for football, it's going to be a little bit different because, they play their games on Friday night, so they'll have Saturday to rest up. But yeah, that's definitely going to be a challenge for those mid-season sports like basketball and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, Sherryland's going to be back in the mix. They made the playoffs this year, and they're going to have a lot of guys coming back this year. So it's going to be a real fun district. Rio's always in the mix. Like you said, Valley View's up and coming. They had a real good defense this past year with a lot of speed. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And you're right. I think I would agree with you when I say that is the second toughest district.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to believe that 32-6A is going to be the toughest district, with even the 2 Brownsville schools. Hannah's always up and coming. They're always right there on either going to the playoffs, on the verge of going to the playoffs. Rivera, they go to the playoffs, and then they win in the playoffs.
Yeah, just 2 years removed from making those 3 rounds run.
Exactly.
So you never know, especially with Tom Chavez out there. He's going to get those guys right.
If you take a look at this district, all these schools have the potential to make the playoffs. You got to really look at the Harlan, both Harlan schools. I mean, and then anyone can actually win that district as well. So it's going to be very, very competitive. Yes, Jake? Who? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So it's going to be tough, but we're going to have Coach Villarreal come in here. Now, you want to step in with Kevin, and he knows a little bit more about St. Joe's athletic program, so we're going to bring in. So Jake will jump back in. Kevin, if you can work on getting these other 2 coaches for us, that'd be great. I know they're still around here in meetings right now. What is taking place is there's a lot of executive meetings taking place.
Yeah, right now they're trying to figure out. Let me step in. They're trying to figure out who is going to be. They're over there, Kevin. They're over there.
Okay, it is right at 10 o'clock, so let's go ahead and go over the 36A district. Once again, it's going to be the 3 La Jolla schools: La Jolla, Juarez, Lincoln, Palmview, McAllen Memorial, McAllen Row, and Mission. 31 6A is going to be the Edinburgh schools and the PSJA schools. Edinburgh Economides, North Vela. Vela moves up to 6A. And the Brownsville, we got 32 6A, which is going to be tough. Brownsville, Hanna, Rivera, Harlingen South, Los Fresnos, San Benito, West Loco, and West Loco East. The big story is that West Loco and West Loco East moving to 32 6A as expected. And then also another big story is that the Laredo schools, Figueroa, Martin, and Nixon are in 31 5A, along with Sherryland, Mission Veterans, Valley View, Rio Grande City, Roma, and Sherryland Pioneer. Coach, how are you doing, Coach? How's everything going for you here today, Coach?
Very good. Very, very good. Thank you for having me on. I'm like a fly on the wall, like you guys, just trying to see what's going on with our Valley schools, trying to pick up some games for St. Joe.
Okay.
We got realigned last week, and this is always just a big deal for us. It's a 2-year commitment, and everything's working out pretty good for us so far.
I know that San Antonio, Antonian, are they always tough? Are they still as tough as they used to be?
They are. We got very lucky this year. They had their stud running back, Daniel Rosenfeld, who just signed to go play for Navy, and he got injured. And so the moment he got injured, that's a totally different Antonian attack because they come at you hard like the way McAllen Memorial does, and they'll just Port Isabel and just run the ball. The kid had over 2,000 yards his sophomore year, 2,800 his junior year, and he got hurt the 5th game of the year this year. unfortunately, it was season ending. So, but they are tough. We ended up beating them this year, but they're going to be back next year. They are a tough team.
I know, Coach, that last year you had Kai Money as your quarterback, and y'all made the playoffs. Y'all had a little run in the playoffs right there. Talk to me a little bit about your season last year. Give us a little recap.
Last year was a good season for us. Kai was coming back as a sophomore, started 8 games for us as a freshman, worked very hard in the offseason, and we were able to do some really good things. I thought that beating Port Isabel, was a significant thing for us. PI is always a very tough team. I know they're just competitive and they're tough. They almost came back and took it from us, but that was a big win for us. I think that propelled us to beat Austin St. Michael's as well, another team that we hadn't beaten in a long time, and then finally clinching another win against Antonian, which, like I said, without Daniel Rosenfeld, but we're going to take it. It's the first time we beat Antonian also in a very long time. We kind of did three games there that we typically lose, and we finished 8-3 in the season. We went and played a really tough Midland Christian game here at home for the playoffs. They came in with some very good kids, and we gave them a run for their money. We lost 49-42. Maybe, like they say, woulda, coulda, shoulda, 2 more minutes. We don't know what that outcome would have been, but I was very proud of our boys. We're young. We're going to be better next year, and I think that we need to play tougher opponents if we want to make bigger runs in that private school league. They do have some really good athletes up north.
Yeah, they do. Were you able to pick up any games today? I mean, we know we talked about playing some 6A or 5A games.
We tried, and it's not. We don't have that respect yet. I think we're working towards getting it there. What we did accomplish was we accomplished playing some of the best 4A teams down here. We scrimmaged La Feria, which is always really tough. We tried to get them for a game. It just didn't work out. But we picked up La Grulla, we picked up Rio Hondo as a game, and we picked up Hidalgo, which are pretty good.
Yeah.
We typically had been playing La Villa and Far Oratory, and those are also good schools, just smaller. We want to play up, and so picking them up, I think right now, is going to be a good thing for us. As Kai's going to be a junior and senior, so the whatever we come out with here today is going to be kind of the next 2-year deal for us, and see Kai graduate.
I heard you guys are going to start just running the ball and not passing anymore.
What's funny is we ran more than we wanted to this year.
Really? With him?
We did.
Running?
Kai rushed for 1,600 yards this year, and as a quarterback, that's a lot of yardage. Our pass attempts were down. As a freshman, he attempted 3. We attempted 220. So we were down 80 attempts this year. I will tell you, next year we definitely want to pass the ball a lot more. I think Kai has the ability to move up to play college ball, but people want to see him throw, and people want to see him in the pocket and making good decisions, not just a kid that can scramble or roll out.
He was very efficient this year, though. So when he did throw, he wasn't throwing incompletions.
No, he did a really good job. 65% passer, threw 2 interceptions for us, 26 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. So he's a good quarterback. We just have to get better looks. I think next year with what we have, I think we're going to have the ability to throw a little bit more. We do have 2 strong running backs coming back, so we're gonna change it up a little bit as far as our multiple sets coming in and out. Something we don't typically do. We're usually always in doubles and trips. So next year should be a good look for St. Joe.
What's the excitement like over there? Because I remember in the 90s there was a lot of excitement, and I used to go cover pep rallies over there when I was working at Channel 4, and it was crazy, the excitement over there. Is that back now at St. Joe's?
It is back. It helps when you have a kid like Kai Money. It adds energy because because the student body and the fans know that he's got 2 more years, so it's exciting to know that there's a future there. And right now at St. Joe, the excitement is at an all-time high, I think, as far as pep rallies and support from parents.
Yeah, and that's you need a lot of that, especially when you're at a private school. You need the support of the parents and the administration and everybody there. So that's good.
I kind of gauge it. Once the season's over, and the X's and O's are put away. You kind of look back at spirit sales, and that's kind of how you gauge support. And our spirit sales were about increased by over 1,000%. So,
wow.
So and that's real. And that's not a fake number. Yeah, over 1,000% increase in just caps and jerseys and polos and just memorabilia.
And you get residuals.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But no, it is. The fan base is good. We're excited to play these new schools. La Grulla, Rio Hondo, who we've been scrimmaging, but Rocky James always going to pack a good punch. Give Kai money, a run for his money, and so we're excited. Hidalgo, David Duty's doing a good job with Hidalgo. So those are just some huge pickups for us as we keep Raymondville and PI on the schedule and Lyford, which are always going to be tough for us.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach Tino Villarreal from PSJA Bloodhounds. SJA.
You said PSJ.
St. Joe's. Did I say PSJ? I saw the SJ on there.
That's okay. That's okay. Hey, we got a lot of PSJ.
There's a lot of schools around here. I know. I'm sorry. St. Joe's.
That's okay. No
St. Joe's Academy.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much, Coach. I appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you all.
All right, Coach. Yeah, and you know, literally we know that the private schools also do realignments as well. So always interesting. What school did he come from? Yeah, I know he was at.
I believe he's an alum. He's an alum.
Okay.
He was an assistant there.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So and Kai Money, you know, he's one of those players that's going to be around for a few more years, and they're going to be riding his arm as long as possible. And like he said, he certainly is a college prospect, and be real fun.
Be interesting right now. We have both Mercedes' Roger Adame and Coach Ramiro Leal, you know, ready to step in. It's almost put them both on at the same time. Let them duke it out, see what they feel about this whole thing. Because they do have Brownsville Vets. Brownsville Vets comes in as one of those. Hey,
what's going on, Coach?
Brownsville Vets comes in as one of those teams that
Yes,
they're
sir,
stepping down with
Coach.
Slightly below 6A numbers.
Right,
so,
exactly.
Coach, talking about you got some additions to your district, and not small additions. Brownsville Vets is a powerhouse.
Yes, we played them week one already 2 years in a row, and they're more than a powerhouse. We had our hands full with them, but great game. We ended up last year in a 49-42 game. Came down the very end who had the last possession. So they're a great team, and we're excited they're going to be in it. But of course, it's going to be a good game.
It's going to be a good district overall, Coach. Any of these schools, I mean, they're all going to be pretty tough. Porter's up and coming, Veterans, of course, and then the old district.
I go back to saying, every week in, week out, you better bring your A game, because it's not going to be one of those type of deals where it's a higher caliber team or less caliber team. All these teams are going to be very competitive. I think it's going to be a very competitive district for the whole year.
You're losing some. We'll get to your players later. But first of all, your non-district schedule, Coach, is Westlaco back in again?
No, we ended up playing Valley View, PSJ North, and then we just picked up La Jolla. I didn't even think we were scheduling La Jolla, but because of the scheduling, Southwest maybe not. Westco's not in. It was a scheduling thing. Also, we'd always played Westco, the nasty slot. We got to prepare for Southwest. So we think, are they going to be in? They're not going to be in.
Okay.
So now all the Brownsville schools mostly in the spread. So we were going to play some more spread teams.
Okay.
It's way to go.
So who was that again? Who were you non-district?
Valley View first.
Okay.
And then we ended up playing PSG North.
Okay.
And then we ended up picking La Jolla at the very end because of getting the Southwest issue coming up.
There you go. All right, Coach. So talk to me a little bit about who you got coming back, because I know Bowen's going to graduate here.
We got some big shoes to fill. Offensively, all our skills are going to be gone, and of course we're losing our tackle, Billman, and we're losing our two guards and our tight ends. So it's rebuilding on the offense. It's not going to be it's no secret. We've lost Bowen, we lost Doherty, we lost Paul Guerra, we've lost our fullback, Yanez. But, we have some younger guys, maybe not experienced, but very hungry, and very eager to, fill those shoes up. I feel good with what we got. Maybe the depth is not as much as we had before, but I always go back to, quality and quantity. The kids give us everything they got. They're very humble kids, and they work very hard. So, I think we look good. We just got to have a good off season and be getting prepared for coming August.
At quarterback, who's going to fill those guys?
Josh Mata got a little bit of playing time. He's a junior, will be a senior next year. So, he should be filling in. We feel confident with him. We'll have another quarterback, coming in. Hector Guerrero, who played JV last year, they'll duke it out, but right now Josh got most of the experience last year in the varsity. I know defensively we got our linebackers coming back, which is pretty good. We got a secondary guy. We got 2 D linemen guys. So they're going to be okay. We lost some key ones in there, but I think that we got, the nucleus probably coming back, so it should be okay.
Coach, you guys let PSG Southwest leave to go to the 6A.
Sure.
Was that something you guys had been looking at as far as, okay, if we have too many teams, let's just let them go?
No, we really thought, in honesty, that I didn't even think they were going to be with us. We thought they would be share nets. We thought it would be an equal, 8-8 type district. So I didn't even think they were going to be with us. So then when they came back, we were petitioning them. They want to petition. We said, yeah, we'll let them go. If the 6As are willing to take them in, the 6As are willing to take them in. I think it has a lot to do with also travel with certain things. It's going to be close for them. It has to do also with, I guess, parity brings the school.
Yeah.
So, it's a decision they want to do. If they choose to do it, we would let them go.
All right. Were you, realistically, were you hoping to see a different district? Or did you want to, shake it up at all? Or do you like where you're at?
Because y'all could have gone either way.
Realistically looking at it, when we looked at, we knew we had the 4 Brownsvilles. And, we knew that they wouldn't break the 2 Donnas. So we thought Mercedes or Couch, would they go? Would they stay? Because really they don't like to break schools up.
Yeah.
So we knew the Donnas and the Browns was already 6 teams. So whether you end up with 7, 8, or now bring the other one to 9, we knew it was basically that's going to be the three teams that they probably would I guess, move around. I didn't think we were going to end up with 9. I didn't know Laredo was going to come down. That one was just
a surprise.
I guess that was a big shock to me. That's a lot of travel for those guys having to go. But it is a big surprise.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about your budgets going that way.
No, I get those 80s are going to be a little bit in a fix, having to travel all the way. And of course, that affects all sports. Looking at baseball, basketball, track, whatever it may be.
Subvarsities.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Billman just announced last week on his Twitter feed, I guess he made his own announcement that he's going to Kingsville.
He's doing PR work now. He does a little PR work on the side. He will be signing with Texas A&M Kingsville on Wednesday. I'm really proud of him. He's a great kid and really happy for him. Happy for him and everybody at the Donna High School is really happy for him.
And he's playing basketball right now, doing pretty good.
Yes, he's a starting post, yes.
Yeah.
It's like he's crazy. He's one of those guys that loves competition, which makes him so well. He likes to excel. He's not one of those guys who sit back and say, wrong. I say, no, he's a team player. He wants to finish out the season. It's good for him.
And he seems the type of guy that's going to find success at the next level. Just his personality, he's just always so happy all the time I see him. He's like, big smile on his face.
Let me tell you, that kid will be successful. I mark my word, he will. He just finds a way to get things done. He loves to compete. He's not one of the kids to ever make excuses. When he does wrong, he gets his butt ripped and gets, okay, coach, I'm ready to go. So he's going to do fine at the next level.
Yeah, I remember talking to him during the season about how hot it was. Like, he goes, oh, yeah, this is fine. It's okay. We get water. We got a little bit of breeze.
He never complains.
He was positive.
From what I can remember, he never even missed practice the 3 years that he started there. He might have missed it maybe one time because he was really, really sick with the flu. But, he's always there. He's steady Eddie. Does a great job. He's a team leader. Can't ask for a better kid.
So how did it feel to win a district championship there, Don? It's been a while since
It's been a while. It was a great feeling. Let me tell you, it was a really good feeling. It was almost surreal. You figure, you think about it. You think you have the components to get it. You got the kids. You got the mentality. Everybody's bought in. It's just good to go get it. Some good teams out there. We had some tough games, but it's a great feeling.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Landed
on that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you during the season, during the off season as well. And he's also the athletic coordinator there at Donna High School. So we'll be seeing him here pretty soon there. But, Billman's going to be moving on Wednesday, of course. We have him. So it's going to be very, very interesting with this new district. And we'll bring in Coach Roger Adame, who is getting everything straightened out and everything ready, Coach. Your reaction, first of all, to the new 32-5A district?
It's exciting. I mean, you look at some of the teams there. We were expecting those teams on there. Bringing in Brownsville Vets and Brownsville Lopez, going to make this district very exciting. I know these past couple of years, Friday nights have been battles, and it's going to be no different this next coming 2 years.
Now that you have more of these Brownsville schools, with Lopez coming in, and now with veterans, do you see more Thursday night games? Have you all settled that yet?
Well, we're hoping for Thursday night games. I mean, that's what we prefer. I know when we sit down and talk about it, Saturday's a possibility just because we don't know what Rivera and Hannah are going to be scheduled like.
Mm-hmm.
But if we do have a Saturday game, it'll be early. We're trying to stay away from Saturday afternoons. That gives us a chance to get back and do the planning for the following week.
Your non-district schedule, Coach, what does it look like?
Non-district schedule is going to stay the same. We're going to open up with Cal Allen, and then we got Nicky Rowe, and then La Feria. So right now, those first 2 games will be at home, Cal Allen and Nicky Rowe. And right now, the way it turns out, we got six home games, so we're going to see.
Really?
We'd like to go 5-5. Yeah, this is the way it worked out.
That's nice. That's nice.
It's nice right now. then
Yeah.
the next year will be on the road 6 games. So we're going to see if we can even it out to 5-5.
Do you know much about Brownsville veterans, Coach?
I know Coach Cantu does a great job over there with them, and they
run the spread.
Yeah, they run the spread. And they traditionally they're in the. I mean, I think they won a share of the district title. I think this past year, and they're always a very good, well-coached team. They always got great kids coming out of there. So I'm sure it's going to be a really test and a battle. And coming varsities did well also, so they got a good group of kids going up.
I know that you got plenty of talent coming back from last year's team, and your quarterback's coming back. You got, of course, your son, Roger Adame III, on defense coming back at the linebacker position. Talk to me a little bit about your team. What's your forecast for the upcoming season?
You know, like we said, we got we got a good group of kids coming back that got varsity experience, and I think that was important. And these guys coming in and their expectations and our expectations and working hard. We're really looking forward to this 2016 football season. We think we can do some great things coaching wise, and we're trying to implement the same kind of some of the different elements that we felt that we needed to improve on, and it's looking good for us. I'm really excited about our 2016 year.
Last year was a crazy year for you because you had the stadium going, you had all the administrative stuff that you were doing, Coach.
Right.
Now all that is done. You think maybe you can concentrate? I don't think you weren't concentrating on football, but now at least you don't have to worry about all the administrative stuff.
There won't be as many meetings during the day. But no, you know that last year was a very hectic year, and looking back on it and talking to some of our coaches and talking to all the meetings and are we going to get into the stadium and meeting not only with the school board but with the city, and that first game we didn't get clearance till I think it was 4:30 that Friday night. So yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a spring where everything's been set. All the work as far as the facilities have been set in place, and we know where we're playing. We don't have to worry about what do we need to find. So it's really exciting knowing that we can just focus on the football aspect of it.
I know people talk to me. They say, "Tell me about that Mercedes weight room." I go, "Well, the field house is nice. It's like a regular field house. You got lockers, you got offices, and you have a weight room.
Right.
But when you're working out, you got these glass windows in front, and you see the stadium right in front, and it's an awesome sight. It's almost like a college type atmosphere because you see the stadium right there.
And when we're deciding what we wanted in that field house, so we got to have that weight room in there. And I visited different campuses, and even going to Texas A&M and seeing their weight room. It's of course a lot bigger, but you say kind of the same concept. I wanted these guys lifting and working and motivated. When they looked out, they see the scoreboard, they see the stands, they see their football field, and it's really easy to say the work we're putting in here is going to determine our success on that field, and so they can see it on a daily basis. I mean, that's something I think is awesome. When we played for many years, Tiger Stadium, it was but it was across town, and so we worked and we knew it was coming. But football is right there, so we know the stadium's there, and so that if you want to play there on Friday night and be successful, you got to put the work in.
Well, here's my question: is there anybody that you were kind of hoping, well, wouldn't be in your district, but would be in your district? Did you hope to see it shake up a little bit?
Well, it's always good when you bring in new teams because new teams and it's exciting for the fans, and we're really looking forward to Brownsville Vets and Lopez coming down because again it gives us an opportunity to play some different opponents throughout the season. But we kind of knew this was gonna shape up like this. Kind of a surprise with Southwest. We didn't expect them to be with us, but they may have done it on purpose. We knew they were going to petition, and we've approved them, and their district approved them. But of course, it's ultimately up to the UIL.
So here's my thing: is there any team that you're looking forward to playing now? Kind of. I don't want to say revenge because you guys did so well in the regular season. Right. But there's a game that you guys have already circled and say, look, this is the game we're getting right away. I mean, I know every coach says, oh, we take 1 week at a time.
Exactly.
But is there any game that you
besides Ed Cal-Chelsea?
Ed Cal-Chelsea.
That's a gimme.
I think those are the texts I just got right now. Where we're playing and what day.
Oh, really?
But no, we take one week at a time. And because every game is going to be like we said, we're going to open. Our schedule right now has it open up with Donna. So right off the bat, man, we're getting the district champs from this previous year.
Okay, wow.
Are you at home for Ed Cal-Chelsea or are you away?
We're home for Ed Cal-Chelsea.
Oh.
So I think we got Donna at home. We got Ed Cal-Chelsea at home. We got Pace. and I want to say we got Porter.
I'm just glad you have Cal Allen at home, Coach.
Yes,
That drive to Corpus Christi.
We're looking at the schedule right now. And we're thinking, okay, well, if we want to switch a home game, which would have to be in the preseason, say maybe McAllen, they say we're staying away from that Cal Allen trip. That kind of that thing. But that Friday night game kind of takes a toll on you when you get back.
What about scrimmages? Port Isabel again? And
we'll open up. Our first scrimmage will be Brownsville be better.
Okay.
And then it'll stay with Port Isabel our second scrimmage.
All right. Sounds so. Things pretty much stay the same, except the addition of Brownsville veterans for the Mercedes Tigers. Thank you very much, Coach Adame. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you, guys.
Playoff team from a year ago are the Tigers, and they'll be looking to get back and compete for that district championship in that tough 32 5A district. Once again, the Brownsville schools, Donna North, Edcott, Just Mercedes, and Southwest. Brownsville veterans, Coach Cantu was talking a little bit about how he might not be as competitive as last year, but
I think it's kind of it's like anybody. They talk it down, and then when you exceed expectations, everybody's like, oh my goodness, But he had such a great team this year, the year before. I think that they have the numbers, especially to compete in this level.
Sure.
So it's going to be interesting. I mean, my thing is the Laredo thing. That 31 5A, those athletic directors of schools, they're going to have to figure out how they're going to pinch pennies, because having to travel from back and forth to Laredo it's awful.
JV,
yes,
freshmen, all those other teams, Tuesday night games, traveling all the to
leaving
Laredo
school early. Yeah. It's going to be murder on scheduling and buses.
And then not only that, the budgets as well. That's not something we budgets as well. So do we have any more? This room is clear.
Yep.
It's Clay Williams of Channel 4 and Dennis Silver from the Monitor. I mean, we're pretty much dead
to rights.
Kevin, you want to come over here and give me just a fair. Can you just bring me a little bottle of water real quick, and then we can get going? Been talking since about 9 o'clock.
If you look at the room right now, this is the room is completely bare. There's a couple coaches at the other end, some scumbag, and on the other end, and we've got the media on the other side. So it's I thought it would be more. I was hoping for some little contentious, a little bickering between coaches, because it happens. Mm-hmm. It does happen. We didn't really have it this year. We didn't have any, arguments or disagreements really that we could tell. And normally we can tell because you can walk around the room and go, "Oh my goodness."
We'll find out later. We'll talk to our sources, and they'll talk to us a little bit about what happened in those executive meetings, those district meetings.
Yeah.
But Kevin, your thoughts real quick as a reporter for 956sports.com. What are your thoughts about this realignment?
Well, the big curveball that was thrown at me, and probably most of us, was the 31-5A with the 3 Laredo schools joining the Romas, the Rio Grande City, and the Sherryland. And then, of course, the big story. Last night I was talking with some people, and I said the story of today would more than likely be the Westlacos going over to 32-6A, and then Vela making the big jump over up from 5A to 6A. So I think those are the two interesting things. Of course, being an Edinburgh guy, it's good to see that the 4 schools are back together again. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you now that the Edinburgh-Vela rivalry, it's going to go through the roof. Because the first year they played, it was already a big rivalry. And, it was a talk around the town, about kids leaving EHS, going to Vela, back and forth. So, Edinburgh North, big rivalry, but the Vela EHS rivalry is going to be a big one.
I think it's a one-horse district. I mean, nothing against the other teams. Vela is just light years as far as numbers and.
So you think they're going to be the city champ and the district champ?
The next 2 years they're going to beat up on this district. I think everybody else is fighting for 2 through 4. Edinburgh is still years away. They had a decent freshman class. JV was okay, but I don't know. And it's a new coaching staff, so you have to give them 2 to 3 years. North, for all intents and purposes, they had injuries this year, so they just didn't have the record that they were supposed to. But they also lose. They have a quarterback coming back, but they really don't have that team that really can compete with Vela. And then you're looking at far north. It's new head coach, new ideology there. You're going to have PSJA, who wasn't very good last year. He's got a lot of guys coming back. I almost think that this district becomes. The
softer one.
It's a cupcake district. It really is. And I think the La Jolla ones, the La Jolla Mackay district, Brewer said, it's very even across the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very even and also very wide open, as we talked about with, everyone losing. Memorial's going to, because of their losing of Trevor Spates, they're going to kind of come down here a little bit. And McAllen Rowe with a new head football coach as well. And so it's going to be changing. The landscape is going to change. If we take a look, who do you think is going to be coming out as that team that's going to go to the third round? Is it going to be one of the schools from 31-6A? Is it going to be a Harlingen school, a San Benito school, a Fresno school?
Well, I think you have the obvious choices. Say 32-6A,
yeah,
and then Vela, and then Vela. But Vela's going to have to play. I mean, here's the thing now. Besides their own district, they're going to actually have to play the Laredo teams that are pretty tough. They're going to have to play. I hear that a little bit too.
Yeah.
They're going to have to play 32-6A in at least the second or third or first round, and then they're going to have to play in probably the third round to go on. So you look at that and you have to think, okay, it's not going to be as easy as it has been, and you're going to be equal in numbers as everybody else.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for the teams that finish third and fourth in the 31, because then they'll have to go to the 32 and face, probably a Harlingen or a Weslaco East or a Weslaco. So kind of looking at the big picture there. But if you're asking teams that would go to the third round, Vela could be up there as well. They are losing a lot of guys. Majority of their playmakers, Eddie Luna, Fabian Pedraza, Elijah Reina. Now they are getting Robert Guerra back, the running back, and they are getting their entire offensive line back. So that could be a big key for Vela. And I think that Fernie Salinas is going to be their next quarterback. He was a backup this year to Fabian, so he'll be back there for Vela. But Harlingen, let's not forget about Harlingen. Manny Gomez has his team ready every single year, and Harlingen could be one of those teams left standing at the third round and maybe can get past that third round. They played really good first half football with Smithson Valley this year, so Harlingen could be one of those last team standings, I think, in that 32-6A.
Your reaction to no Weslaco versus Donna. I know in the Mid-Valley, it's a big rivalry, Donna versus Weslaco. We just got word that from Coach Leal that they're not going to be playing this year or the next 2 years.
Yeah, and me, I look at it as, yes, the competitive thing. I also think about money. You're leaving a lot of money on the table. That's a sellout every year.
Fox Sports Southwest
comes down. I mean, there's something to be said about playing those games because the rivalry is so good, but also a 9-team district, or is it 9-team, right?
Mm-hmm.
For it's one of those things you have to kind of like weigh your options on that. So I'm surprised. I am surprised on that one. Or is it 8-team districts now with PSJ Southwest?
Yeah, it is 8-team. Sorry about that.
So it's an 8-team district. So I mean, you really have to kind of pick and choose what you're going to play, and you have to also see if the schedules match up. So and then kind of correlate that. Do you want that game before district? Will it hurt you? And for Donna and Weslaco, it's not something we want because we'd like the
yeah, absolutely. All right, so the big headline. The biggest headline? I guess. I mean, there's plenty of big headlines to go across the board here. But what would be the biggest headline first for you? What do you think the big headline would be?
I'm gonna go with the elephant in the room, and that's gonna be the 32-6A, because we all knew, everybody in this room knew that 32-6A was the toughest district last year. And then Weslaco and Weslaco East going over there just makes it the SEC, basically, of high school football, where every week is going to be beyond a playoff game, and it's going to be some really competitive. It's going to be a very competitive district.
So that makes 31 and 30 and the athletic A10, but
Big 12.
Yeah,
Big 12, yeah.
Jake, your big headline for today?
Mine is the Laredo's coming over because I mean, you think about that. That's just in the grand scheme of it, they had a great district before this, and then you throw in these Laredo teams, and then there's some unfamiliarity there, and you almost, for us, I mean, we're not going to go cover in Laredo. It's too awful. I mean, the media probably won't either. So I mean, you're going to lose that coverage that you normally would have down here.
Sure.
I mean, it's hard enough going to Roma and Rio, and we love going there.
Yeah.
And then to drive another hour and a half.
Yeah, that's going to be kind of tough. It is tough. Interesting stories besides those. Also breaking today was Corey Detmer, the new head coach over at Mission. And you weren't here, but Coach Gilpin was a little disappointed that
I thought it should be Lupe.
Lupe didn't get
not that he should have
staff.
been Lupe.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it would be Lupe, and I feel for him because covering Mission, he's been on the staff and he's done such a great job right over there with their offense and their quarterbacks. I mean, look what he did for Landry Gilpin.
Sure.
I feel for him.
Yeah, but he's going to get his opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been nice for him to go back to his alma mater because a lot of people remember Coy Belupe was actually before Coy, he was the man, and he, once again
for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
man.
they had it wrapped. It's on YouTube. You got to look it up.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap up our coverage here at the District Realignment at Region 1 in Edinburgh. As the new districts have been announced, you could always go back and replay. You can watch
Yeah,
this
we'll
later.
be cutting it up.
Interviews. John Cannon. John, how's it going over there? He's working on a story. It'll be up here in about 5 minutes or so. He's almost done. And so we'll go ahead and wrap up our coverage. So for everyone here at the District Realignment at Edinburgh Region 1, Kevin Nato, Jake Berry, I'm Carlos Robledo. We'll see you next time.